Hey, RPM Trey Vietnam and this bitch. Hey, we just had. I want to continue on with the discussion that I was having in my live stream earlier this morning about squashing the beef with the YouTuber Cuts One. I feel good about it because uh, what as aggressive as the beef between me and Dude got, for it to chill out the way it did, it's just awesome, man. And I think that resolving things in that way is way better than lingering in the aggression, passing threats back and forth to each other, and all of that stuff. I didn't like none of that. I don't like none of that because what I'm doing with my activism is proving that everything it is that I'm doing, and I'm under the microscope at all times too. After standing out in the public to do this, not everything will get judged. What would I look like resolving a conflict that was based on some misconceptions and misunderstandings with a YouTuber, and then allowing that conflict to get me to act outside my character, where all of a sudden I would get involved with a level of violence that I had never been involved in before in my life. I've never been involved in responding to a death threat in this way. I've never been involved in conflict like this with a stranger. In my personal life, there was one issue that I had when I was fighting for custody of my oldest son, and my ex's new boyfriend. He was new at the time. He was just a manipulating aggravator, man. Loved to aggravate the situation, step into the picture, trying to dictate how I'm going to handle this conflict between me and my ex about my son. So he got me to be pretty outraged, but even then, that was a response. And I'm going to tell a story later on a Patreon or something like that, where what happened on Christmas Day in front of my grandmother's house in Illinois in 2012. This is right before I quote unquote woke up, because I got involved in the custody battle in the court case that happened after that. So once I took a peek inside the court system, I realized there's something evil there going on. There's a lot of word magic and a lot of bullshit and a lot of fake help and a lot of siphoning money out of desperate people. Because I paid for a lawyer that got me nowhere when it should have been a slam dunk, and I can prove it. It's too easy. It's not something that I say because I'm trying to paint myself in a better light and exclude things from the story and make it look like I'm an angel when I went to a court to fight for my son and they wouldn't help me. Motherfucker, I was the fucking hero. And I can prove it. I got recorded phone conversations, hours worth, like so much. I filled up 2 digital tape recorders, recorded phone conversations between me and my ex. And when you see the conduct that she has and how she treated me when I was trying to deal with my son outside of the court, and then how she acted inside of a courtroom, 2 different things, and it's obvious. It's just undebatable. You don't have to rock with me or rock with her to see the truth in it, and that's what I like about that situation. And I'm out that whole thing. My son's 20 years old now. Now I can just talk about it like it's nothing, and y'all will see later on how that happened. But opening my eyes to how the legal system works is exactly what that whole situation did. But what it taught me is a whole lot of stuff. Conflict resolution was one of those things. If anybody believes that the universe ever does things to you that teach you life lessons, that if you recognize, they will become beneficial parts of who you are if you can find some triumph over these life lessons. That's exactly what I went through. And I don't want to give too much of the details away because the story's kind of crazy, but let's just say I had a golden opportunity to do something that would have been considered self-defense, and I chose not to do it because 2 things. Number one, I know I didn't want that shit in my life. It was way too negative. I had to be the bigger person, and I had to stop the situation before it went any further, number one. Number two, it actually illustrated a conflict between gun laws between the state of Illinois, where I was when this happened, and the state of Iowa, where I actually lived there, because I had to go back home during the holiday, Christmas, grandma's house, meeting up with my son, who I have with an ex-girlfriend. So doing all that kind of thing, that's why I was in Illinois at the time. But I lived in Iowa at the time, had a gun permit in Iowa that was no good in Illinois. And this conflict that I had in 2012 in Illinois revealed to me that the gun laws and the contradiction between states was a very scary, bad thing that we should not be living right in front of our eyes. And this all started my activism. She kept me from running off to Hollywood like I wanted to do, to be a fucking filmmaker. I was going to take that fucking lawyer money, start a fucking clothing line way before online t-shirt stores was a thing. This was fucking 2006 when I first tried to do this with the t-shirt thing. I was going to finally run off to Hollywood to do the t-shirt thing and to be a film director, because I graduated from college with a digital film degree. I end up having to sacrifice all of that money into a lawyer to fight for custody of my son when this bitch fucking turned up on me like this, trying to fight me about my son. And I didn't want my son or her to say that with an opportunity to do whatever I wanted to do in my life, I actually chose to chase my own Hollywood fucking dreams of being a filmmaker instead of saving my son from her and this evil guy that she brought around my son. And the guy was in the midst of psychiatric treatment because he was crazy, literally crazy, and being accused of touching his little brother and his little sister. I guess Illinois state papers to say this. And this is the guy who she started dating after me and her broke up. And now he's in my house threatening me, like a bitter new boyfriend that's trying to shake things up, like starting fights and interjecting. And I even had to buy my son a phone to keep in communication with him. But this guy was taking my son's phone from him to keep me from talking to my son for days and days at a time, and sometimes weeks. So you can imagine how frustrated I would be. And I acted like that shit too. I acted all that frustration out. I was mad than a motherfucker. But the point of me bringing all that up is that it taught me a whole lot. The universe was trying to tell me something. It was testing me, because this was before I was a gun rights activist. So if I didn't shoot this dude, I was not going to shoot somebody with a fucking gun ever, probably, because he got me as mad as I ever been in my life. I blacked out, tunnel vision. There were things going on in the environment at the time when all of this shit happened that later on family and friends had to fucking tell me and reflect back on what they saw from the vantage point that they had about this situation. And I was like, I didn't even know that happened. I blacked out, bro, and I still didn't shoot this dude when I blacked out. I was enraged, man, and I didn't shoot him. I went and put the gun back down. I had the gun in my hand. I put it away because I had to compose myself, because if I want to get what it is that I want, I will guarantee defeat and a loss of the purpose that I thought that I had, that I love so much, if I act out in violence first. I can't be the one to do that. That's why my revolutionary shit that I got going on with the gun rights activism, I am displaying and saying that. It's more than what people think on the surface. There's a whole mentality that I bring to this that needs to be addressed so that you can truly honor what it is that I'm doing for everything that it is. And I am proving, after I'm going through that personal shit, that if I survive that without shooting a guy like that, wait until y'all hear the story. Wait until you hear the fucking story. Y'all gonna freak out. It's insane. But if I didn't shoot him, I'm not gonna shoot nobody for no reason. It'll take a real good reason. You would have to do to my mind and my heart and the fear for my own safety more than what he did to get me to shoot you. And what he did was insane crazy. Insane crazy. Y'all gonna be surprised that I didn't shoot him. As a matter of fact, different laws in different states would allow me to shoot him, actually. Illinois would not have allowed me to shoot him. Texas would have. Fine line between the gun laws in these states. And once I realized that, after I had to spare myself and him by not shooting him, this started the activism. I was like, man, I should have been able to shoot him. What the fuck is up with these gun laws? Man, I was like, oh, the government full of fucking shit. Y'all full of shit. Inconsistent pussy motherfucker. Then I started going crazy. She made me a gun rights activist. They made me an activist. And I can thank them for that. And they saved me from Hollywood. I wanted to be a filmmaker, and I literally had $7,000 that I saved up, and I was on my way to saving more. And right when I was about to go to California, thinking about moving to California, expecting that maybe me and her would share my son fairly, even though it was rocky, she turned up. She started acting super crazy about my son. And then this guy kept in and started threatening. I was like, I'm not running off to Hollywood to leave my son with a guy who's accused of being a pedophile, no less than Hollywood is crazy, right? You see how the universe does shit to you? And they say, pass this test, motherfucker, because it's going to solidify who you're supposed to be. And that's what happened to me, bro. This solidified everything that I am, man. No way in hell I could ever shoot anybody for a dumb reason. I wouldn't have shot him when Texas would have let me shoot him. But Illinois wouldn't, man. Wait till y'all hear the story about what he did and how all of this unfolded in front of my grandmother's house on Christmas Day. Y'all are going to be amazed by this. If you think you like me, you're really going to like me when you hear this story. Because you're going to be like, why didn't you shoot him, man? And it's a testimony to who I am right now. Because I don't want to hurt nobody. Only if I have to. And I mean that when I talk to the government too. Only when I have to. Only when I know that it's necessary would I think that a revolutionary act of violence is justified. No, it's not. Lone wolf shit, that shit ain't gonna work. It's just gonna work against us. You heard everybody if you do that lone wolf bullshit. I hate the government, so I'm gonna go do this dumb shit. I don't even think that's us when it happens. When they say that it happened, which it almost never happens, not enough to me, but it ain't never a grassroots, a real attempt at revolution anyway. No real revolutionary will see that as the answer. We all know what the answer is. When you're real, a multitude of the people have to stand up at the same time and speak their fucking grievances to the government while stopping all of the things that they want us to keep in motion to make their government shit work. If we do that, now they gotta pay attention to us. And what we say to them when we get their attention is us saying that we know that they fucking around, ain't finna be no draft. Who the fuck you think you talking to? Huh? RPM Trey Vietnam in this bitch. I didn't choose the name arbitrarily. I know what the fuck I was doing. I plan on getting out here doing the protests that can only even be compared to the Vietnam War protests because ain't nobody stood up to them the way we tried to when we did that shit. And they didn't listen and we got fucked up and everybody said, God damn, we can't stop them when we begged them. That's what that taught me. And I came back out here to say, hey y'all, remember, right? Let me subconsciously put the thought in your mind. Vietnam. Remember when we told them not to do this and they said, fuck you? We're doing it anyway? They moved towards the violence when all the people said, please don't do this. Please don't do this, man. They said, man, fuck y'all, man. We have to do this. I don't gotta like them. I don't gotta respect it. I don't even gotta be quiet. Fuck that. I say what I want. See what I'm saying? And now they talking about a draft. Kiss my dick. Ain't nobody going nowhere. I got a 20-year-old son. You coming with us. You finna go fight. Why? His father fucking hates the fucking federal government. But he's gotta sit back and let you sacrifice his son to your fucking to your fucking government god? Not finna happen. Y'all, man, listen. I ain't gonna say too much, but just know I'm his father. I gave him life. It's my duty to protect it. And it's his duty. He's 20 years old. He can protect himself. But in a situation like a draft, he don't want to fight and die for nothing. He don't think that violence is a way of fucking life at all. Anybody who thinks they can force violence as a way of life, once my son is going to be an enemy to me. Anybody who thinks that they got a right to tell him that he's going to do that or else he's going to jail is going to fucking get shot at. Fuck is you talking about? No. Ha! No. The answer is no. My son? Fuck out of here. Are you insane? To even assume it. To even speak it. Man, there needs to be a fucking peaceful non-compliance to all of the shit that we do to help them keep their wheels going so that their gears don't turn anymore. So when they stop and go, what the fuck happened? Smoke coming from the machine over here, all this shit grinding to a fucking a loud fucking screeching halt over here. Your machine not working no more, motherfucker. And when he comes to the fucking balcony on the ivory tower and look down like, what the fuck are y'all doing down there? Tell him we got something to fucking talk about. And we're all down here armed and hugging each other. That's how it's supposed to go. I'm showing you what to do. This is how it's supposed to go. No, you cannot fucking start busting shots talking about you hate the government, it's gonna be a revolution. I've said this so many times that I'm tired of saying it. I shouldn't have to keep clearing my name, especially when people try to judge me on the surface and go, this motherfucker thinks that they're supposed to be a You didn't hear what I said about how the revolution is supposed to go. Now you judge me thinking that I sound crazy by standing out on the corner with a gun talking about a revolution as if I'm dumb enough to think that that's how you do it. Gun, revolution, go shoot something. I never said that. I actually speak against that heavily. We cannot do it like that. Every time it looks like somebody tried to do it like that, I don't even think that's us. I think that's them. Lying. That's how serious I am. Now they talking about a draft and shit. The draft. Another pandemic that all these old motherfuckers swear by their fucking life that there's going to be another fucking pandemic, and they're so sure of it that they're talking like you'll see, like they gonna see, like they gonna live to see it. These motherfuckers are in their 70s and 80s, but they're talking like, just wait a minute, like they're going to be around for it to happen again. I think they're gonna fake it. They got the borders fucked up, the Chinese balloon over the fucking Canadian border, Mexican border, all fucked up. I said this shit in some videos months ago because I heard somebody say it and I thought that it sounded interesting because it seemed plausible as a way for them to play this fucking game that they got going on right in front of everybody and then look for a way to try to justify or cover for it. And I heard a motherfucker say on an Instagram video, right? Not that Instagram videos is all you need to fucking think that something's true or not. That's not the point that I'm trying to make. Don't spin what I'm saying. Listen to everything that I'm saying. That ain't good enough to think that what I'm about to say is legit, but it's enough to make you curious. Now you got to go look. It just so happens that the world revealed itself for this to be true before I got a chance to even look at it. But this was months ago. This motherfucker said they are not allowing illegal aliens to come in here and act like this. They're allowing them to be citizens without you knowing it, because these motherfuckers are going to get citizenship as a reward for military service. And I went, they're going to make these guys a part of our military? How the fuck are they going to do that? Strange. And now you know what they're saying? Anybody seeking asylum, refugees, illegal immigrants, everybody, whatever, come sign in and do this and that, and y'all got to kind of fight for the military, because the war is about to pop off, and we need bodies. We need bodies. Y'all are the bodies. So right away, with them saying that, it made something that could have been conspiracy theory or just an Instagram video talking shit. It's coming to fruition right in front of me before I can even research it. They told these guys to go get military service for citizenship. That's crazy. That's weird. It's a gateway in for the draft. It's an answer to the draft. That part of the condition is, hey, these guys are going to come, and these motherfuckers coming in are not being drafted. They came over here knowing that they was going to get American citizenship if they can perform some military service. They already knew that. That's what the dude in the video said months ago. Fucking 45-second Instagram fucking reel. He said that. I went, that's interesting. I'm not going to forget that. And I never got to looking into it. That's what he said, and then now that's what's happening. And it makes sense. But all of this bullshit that's going on is all screaming out to us that something is wrong and we have to be paying attention to them. I happen to believe that everything that you can see on the surface for being wrong is being reflected, telling the exact same story through gematria. That's why I rock with gematria so much. And I'm just so weirded out when people like act like they hate it, like it's bad, but it's like, I have to remove my emotions out of it and just ask myself, is the world crazy, and in what ways? And I look at different conspiracy theories or things that were conspiracy theory, they have come out to be absolutely true, and we're watching it. If you look at all of that stuff and you call it what it is on the surface, when you realize and believe that government is playing a bullshit game with you, so you call them out, if you apply gematria to it, it tells the same story that you call them out with some accuracy. That you're right when you call them out. The gematria is telling you the same story. That they're lying. You just don't know how they're doing this. But you fail to realize that religious and ancient cultural influences have gone nowhere. Who will be at the heads of all these things and not be thinking a God or their God or many gods or whatever they're doing? You have to assume that. You can't even watch an athlete fucking win a championship without thinking God or Jesus. Are the people running the world thanking a God or anybody or anything, any entity at all, for their success in their endeavors? Yes or no? Yeah, they are. They are. They are. They are. What do they call this motherfucker by name? You can figure this out. Why is this not super duper clear? And it is to some of y'all, even without the gematria. It's clear to you that the heads of all these industries all are, they recognize each other's power very well. I think they're in cahoots, actually. They actually have to be, so that they can make sure that one avenue doesn't step on the toes of another while they try to move the world forward together in harmony with them at the head of it into a state of control over the world, so that they can get products sold, energy being used and utilized to the tune of what it is that they want, and we know that that's true. They kill guys who come up with car engines that can run on water, cooking oil, and all types of stuff. You know that they smoke motherfuckers like that. That looks like something powerful is in control of something, doing something weird, something in the shadows. Anybody that can have any involvement in smoking a sitting president when they killed Kennedy, and then have that be left in obscurity for all of this fucking time, but we still don't know exactly what happened, for them to get away with it. Nobody ever went to prison for smoking a sitting president in front of everybody in broad daylight. Listen to me. Whatever did that is still here. You can't be that powerful, do that to gain anything at all, and then you're gone forever, and you're not still here influencing the shit. Yeah, they are. Who did all of that? Is there any gematria connecting all of this shit together? When you see the gematria telling the story, you have to be like, gematria is just it's the DNA evidence before they discover DNA, and then you go back to a cold case and go, damn, We got to release this motherfucker. They didn't kill this woman. The DNA matches someone else, and this was a crime that we sentenced this dude about 30 years ago. We got to let him go after 30 years. We were wrong. This is what gematria does. It'll correct bad conspiracy theories. If there's one that's wrong or inaccurate, it'll correct it, and it will justify the ones that you knew were true just off the surface, because government is getting sloppy, lazy, brazen, and kind of cocky about what it is that they do to control you. They laughed in your face about the C-19 shit. That's how crazy they are. They laughed at you. JB laughed at us when we said we want to keep the AR-15s in case we got a revolt against a tyrannical government. He said, man, y'all need F-16s. Y'all some goofies. Y'all not going to survive if we want to fuck with you. We'll fuck y'all up. And he said it in his words, but that's the way he said it. And everybody laughed like this motherfucker was doing stand-up. Y'all are crazy. Crazy people. Crazy people. Fucking weirdos. To be denying all of this shit. To think that gematria is, it might be to you. It ain't to me. Because on the surface I go, that's a conspiracy theory, that's true. Government is evil. They lied about this. They lied about that. Look at this and look at that and blah, 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 blah. And I go, boom. Story. Oh, I want some sprinkles on my fucking cupcake. Where's that gematria? Telling the same story. Ha ha. It's just revealing the ritualistic side of the shit that they do. Because they got to do it ritualistically because they're fucking superstitious, heavy into the dark occult shit. All of the shit that they got to hide from you, and they got to hide it from you or else it won't work. So when you realize that they hear something from you so powerful like gematria, and it seems to fit, I wouldn't give a fuck where gematria came from. All I know is it's a number coding system that seems to stay consistent to tell a story. The only way I can say gematria is bullshit is if I look and say, those are not the dates or the times or the people involved at all, motherfucker. But if he's honest about the dates, the times, or the people involved, their names and the birthdays and shit like that, and then the number code adds up, then I go, the number code has to mean absolutely nothing, and then be a big ass coincidence that it looks like this, and how probable is that? Then I start weighing the probability. Or I can say the number coding system came from the same people that gave us the English language, who are actually running high technology, big pharma, the oil industry, the military industrial complex, the prison industrial complex, the music, the movies. All of those motherfuckers are actually responsible for giving you the number coded system, hidden inside the English language, the heliocentric model, and the Gregorian calendar, because the calendar wasn't always like that. That changed, and we got the change from the same group of people that are surviving in their control and influence to give us a calendar in the first place, to then you got to expect for them to be the ones running the music, the movies, the Hollywood, the blah, 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 the money, and about. How could it not be all them? You know that it's all them, and it's still them. Who else can influence the fucking language to call English language what it is, and then lose that control? I expect for them to still be in control of some shit. Where are they? The news, the war machine. It's them, man. It's them. They gave us the language and it works. I'm not surprised. Their fucking great-great-great-great-grandson is the fucking head of the fucking CIA. Or whatever the fuck. It's still them. How could it not be them? Anybody that gave us a calendar that we still follow today, when the average man don't know what Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is, where the names come from, why in that order, is there any other fucking meaning? It has to be, because who will arbitrarily name something as serious as the days of the weeks to a calendar that seems to be scientifically calculated? You got to be a genius to even do that, because the calendar fucking works. All of this is amazing stuff. The influence that did that didn't disappear. They are somewhere. Where are they? See? This is why I can't denounce that shit, because when I try to look at these things from different angles, I keep seeing a clearer picture. Every time I shift the angle to be like, that shit can't make any sense over here. It can't. It's going to fall apart, and then I can disconnect this from that, because this shit is compartmentalized and separate. Every time I try and do that, I can't separate it. What's the kids? Ain't it some kids' toy? The magic sand or something? It's kind of like that. Like you try to pick it apart and it's almost kind of sticky, and then you put it back together and you go, look at that, blend it right back in. You can't even. It's like the lava shit in a lava lamp. It pops off and does this and that, but that shit is all one. Even when it appears to be separate, it wants to be one, and it does it well, and then it just does that shit. That's what this government control shit is. The calendar, smoking JFK, the legalese, the language inside the legal system. Don't you realize that fucking with language is a good way to get over on people and control the minds of the people? Even if you just look at English language for being what it is for face value, and how they talk in the courtroom when they call that shit legalese. Human being, animal, monster, law, statute, ordinance, code, these words are weird when you look at the Black's Law Dictionary. Then you go, why the Black's Law Dictionary seems so different than the English dictionary that the regular people will go by? Is that by design, and do they got an advantage when they do that to us and separate themselves? With a 20-year fucking career as a fucking judge, you got such an advantage over the average man, he wouldn't even know if you were breaking your own law, and you guys have an advantage because of it. I can't talk my way out of looking at gematria and calling it bullshit, because I just look at it and go, if them numbers lined up again, I'm going to wonder how the fuck that keep happening in their favor. It came from them, and it's all of their work, and it is reflecting the control that we all know that they want. And you find signs of the number coding control inside the shit that you know that they run. I don't know what else to say to y'all. I don't know what else to say to y'all. Show me some shit where the numbers don't add up. I need to see some shit and be like, none of these numbers are in common or reflective of a fucking ancient Blue Jay and Cat Boy. Blue Jay and Cat Boy is what I'm gonna call them. Y'all know who they are. 6-pointed fucking blue star on those guys, and then in the fucking Vatican some goddamn where with the fucking humming and the singing and the sage and shit. Those guys, right? Got together and did some shit. They did some funny shit. Wherever they are running shit the way they are, I'm going to say that's all one coherent thing to you guys, because it's all you guys. Now, what is it that you touch? What have you influenced? Everything. When the Pope goes to a sporting event, that shit better not line up or even reflect at all anything in their ancient culture, folklore, rituals, deaths of popes in fucking ancient times. If y'all appear to be celebrating that shit, I'm gonna notice. And if the gematria points to be like, look, they just celebrated some shit that happened in fucking 600 AD that no one knows about because don't nobody know the history. But today's that day that they would have that this shit happened in 600 AD or some shit. Look at them celebrating it, and the celebration reflects the story. And the gematria is showing you that they're doing it specific to the day because of this and that. Now watch this celebrity die with this name and this birthday to help fucking reflect. If it keep doing that, I'm gonna assume that it's all together. I don't know how to separate that and go, the two things are different. First of all of this shit is happening in this way. Whether you think that it's happening together for a purpose, for an intentional reason or not, is almost beyond me. It don't even really matter. I just so happen to think that it's so eerie that I'm already saying fuck them and fuck everything they do, that I will happily say fuck them with the gematria shit. I will happily say fuck them about revealing and discovering their gematria shit, because I think it's them, and I will call them guilty of that gematria shit by default, because they liars and they spooky and they weird, and they are deep in that occult shit that they hide from everybody else, and they do that for a reason so they can get over on you. It's the only way they're going to make it work. The legal system works well with their legalese to get over on you so that you don't know when you're being played or when you're stepping into something. The wooden gates in the courtroom mean something. You are boarding their vessel. It's symbolism. If you don't know that, you will happily do it appearing to look like you agree with the game that they asked you to play. If you say, is this me boarding your vessel when I do this, and you gain even more control or expectation of control when I go beyond this because I've agreed to something when I do this. The fucking wooden gates, why is it always in every courtroom doing that? Why is every courtroom the fucking judge is up high above everybody else wearing all that fucking black? The black fucking gown looks like the graduation gown with the square hat representing Saturn. They do this on purpose. They do this on purpose. I'm sorry, y'all. Do they hold graduations on Saturdays only? If they only do graduation performances on Saturday, and I'm not sure if they do or not, if they do, it's just going to make it a little bit more weird to me, because I know that the name Saturday got named by them for reasons not arbitrary. It's very, very special that they name it that. They did it for a reason. They mean this shit. Ain't it serious? It's a calendar to keep time, and it works. Stop refusing to give power that's deserving by the power that we're trying to point out. It's powerful. They didn't name Saturday arbitrarily. It's so deep what they do. They mean this shit. They sincere. I'm gonna be sincere when I observe they shit. If they do graduation parties on graduation ceremonies on Saturdays only, Saturday's representation and paying homage to Saturn. That's what the black square is for. In Mecca or wherever that is, the black cube. It's all Saturn worship. The graduation from high school is a graduation ceremony saying that you've been successfully indoctrinated by the government, public school system and stuff, man. To think that you can stop and say, they evil, but they ain't that evil. They smart, but they ain't that smart. I think that's weird to me. They're evil as fuck to be doing this ritualistically, human sacrifice and all that shit. They're evil enough to do that. Stop trying to give them credit like they're not that bad. Yeah, they are. Are they smart enough to do it ritualistically? The Vatican seems serious as fuck. I'm not gonna take it lightly because I don't rock with their religion. Same with the Blue Jays. I don't gotta be a Blue Jay for me to respect them enough to say when they do stuff they mean it. What they do might be a powerful influence on the world. Why would I not say that? So if the gematria came from a tag team effort from those two groups to do this, why are people so upset or think that I'm strange for taking it seriously, whatever they're gonna do with that afterwards? Gematria seems legit to me. I don't know what else to say to y'all, man. Because I want y'all to logically paint a picture of me being foolish for thinking that, and then go check Zach. He's a gematria guru. Go argue with him. I bet that you can. I bet you can't. Because if you can, go give as much information and power and energy and logical thinking and resources and evidence and then exercise all of that shit in examples for me like he does to make me feel like gematria is stupid. No one ever does that. Why don't nobody ever do that? They etched on their fucking temple all its number. It said that on the Masonic temple in DC. Why am I weird for taking them seriously when they say that? I go, damn, that seems serious for y'all to etch it on the building. And it sounds kind of weird and nefarious. Even science is saying, you know, there's the binary code of zeros and ones hidden into the fabric of reality, that it appears that we're living in like some kind of a simulation, which I will believe. Anything is possible. I don't think that the human imagination can out-create reality. I don't think that's even possible. It doesn't seem to make sense to me. So to think that reality is more than what we expect for it to be, when we know that we're being lied to, controlled with the school system, dominated by government, sheltered and divided by race, by culture, religion, political opinions, and we're divided like this and all broken and confused, and everybody living our fucking lives, and we're scared too about what's going to happen in public, what the government's going to do, nuclear war. We are all sorts of fucked up, and we are in no state at all to think that where it is that we stand in today is us seeing life for its clarity and purity 100% all the way through, like a clear fucking drinking glass. And we have the whole story and the whole truth so that we can live our lives on the truth. We know that that's not the case. We know we being fucked up. So it's just weird to me when people think that they can exclude something because it sounds weird, or they think that it's nefarious. But this gematria shit is not a calling for people to begin to practice gematria like it's some kind of cult of witchcraft. It is a fucking serial killer documentary asking you, don't you think this is weird or strange that people can even think or feel or attempt to do this to other people? And here's some fucking signs or a peek into the psychology of these motherfuckers so that you can be aware of it if it begins to happen around you. It's a documentary about a serial killer. It's not asking you to be a serial killer or to agree with them. It's like, look at all the weird shit that they do. We might not be able to fucking stop them in predicting the next killing, but when they kill victim number 7, we can rest assured that there will be some evidence left behind that in retrospect we can say, yep, this is another killing by the same killer. We're on his trail. We're on his trail. We're on his trail. I don't understand what's wrong with y'all, man, that I can't say that. Why can't I say that? Damn. The numbers shouldn't line up. Show me something where it doesn't work. And then show me why it couldn't be possible that the people in charge of trying to control us would not be trying to control us like this. Why is it impossible that they would even be trying to do this to us? I don't know. I don't know what y'all think when y'all don't rock with gematria, but it is okay. All I want y'all to do is to say that you know government is the problem, that they're trying to kill us all, that the racial divide is fucking fake. It only becomes real when people fall for it. Then they give you something that you have to address. Otherwise, this is about manipulation of humanity to drive us into their control so that they can play God on the earth, to say that everything that they do and say, everything that happens on earth was by their control. They are playing God on earth to rule it. What in the past history was not them doing it or manipulating the truth about it. They won't even tell us what happened to Kennedy. They won't tell us what happened, but they know. This is true that they will lie, do things, violent things, keep the truth from getting out there, use the education system and then the media to fucking create what they want to be the truth, and then to hold it there while outing everyone else, saying that that's a lie, you guys are lying, and then they attack the people that say that. We all know that this is the truth. They never told us that gematria was a thing in school and that was intentional. Period. Because it is a thing. Even when people don't want to agree with it, it's a thing. If you don't think that the thing is doing the shit to us, you can say that. But you can't. What you cannot say is that Zach is making this up and that the whole idea and theory came from his head and that he's this fucking smart to be developing this and have the numbers line up. He would have to be a fucking genius of such a high level that he would blow my. It would. If Zach is making this up, he's smarter than Elon. He just chooses to focus his all of his intellectual energies into this fake shit. But he could have applied this same intelligence to fake this shit into other things and been just as successful. Zach is smart, but he's not that smart. He's not making this up completely out of his mind in a delusion, because nothing is there, and he has created something to make it actually appear to be there when it's still not. Zach, that's not what Zach is doing. If he's misunderstanding what gematria is supposed to be, how is it in a misunderstanding that he's getting these numbers to line up? That's what I don't understand. That form of coding is irrelevant, Angel says. If it was irrelevant, the numbers wouldn't line up to keep painting the picture that they're in control and ritualistically hurting people and controlling the narrative and what we think is reality. I would imagine they would want to do that to us. It kind of looks like they are, and then the numbers say, yeah, they are. I can't find where it falls off. That's all I'm saying, Angel. And if you want to talk to me, Angel, we'll talk. And then you can kind of explain it to me where you can say, see, it's irrelevant. This is how I find the relevance in it. First of all, we have all of the fundamental stuff. The calendar that we go by, any ciphers that anybody wants to apply to it. Zach has 4 that he seems to apply to it that does enough to tell the story. He even admits that other ones might tell different things, but this is, other ciphers might also reveal these things, but he can't find one cipher that points it in one direction, then another cipher that points it away from it. All of the ciphers keep pointing back to the same stuff. It all favors the same stuff, and then nothing else either. Then it favors nothing else too. So once I got all that fundamental stuff, then I go, okay, Zach, here's a news story, and show me how this is relevant. And then when he does it, then I go, yeah. Okay, I see. And then 666 days later, boom, like lightning, there it is. And that shouldn't have happened like that. And look at how related that it is. It's related out here. You can see slight correlations. When you see the number correlation and how important that would be for the correlation to be there, for them to be successful in doing what to us? Lying through the media, because they lie. It's they fucking news stations and they TV, and they know it, and we know it. The sports is theirs. We know all of the athletes are all fucking weird. If you want to just look at the satanic influence that might be in the music and the movies, when you remove the gematria, you can just look at the satanic saluting that they appear to be doing. And to me, that just favors a gematria even more. Because it's saying, look at them. They do the gematria to perform the shit. They all work in cahoots. And when they do little ritualistic, successful things and things go according to plan and shit, you see them doing the physical shit. The satanic symbolism shit, the gestures with their hands and all this other shit. It starts to coincide with what the gematria is telling you beneath it. I don't see a break in this stuff. I just don't see a break in it. The numbers point to other entities, also not just Jesuits, and it's also had an aspect of duality. Yeah, it does. I'm not saying that the numbers can't or don't ever point to other things. All I'm saying is, while they're in a state of control and trying to manipulate our perceptions of what the reality even is, and then all of the things that they feed us to force us to pay attention through in this hypnosis with the bread and circus that they give us so that we don't revolt, I better not see them numbers line up in that shit, or I'm gonna go, that's y'all, bro. I don't know how to break the two things. I don't know what to do that. So somebody needs to stop me and say, look at this. Now look at this. Now look at this. The conclusion is an inevitable conclusion. It can't be argued logically, and it makes the gematria look like it's a non-factor. I got to see that. It's all about a personal bias and a con to make money. I'll let Trey talk. I'll talk to you about it. Let's talk, Trey. I'll talk to you about it. I'm always open to listening because the only thing that I fear in life is missing out on something that I wish that I knew. That bugs me. That's a fear in life for me when I consider like me as an individual observing the world and seeing what's going on. I'm not scared of dying. It's just a lot of things that other people are scared of that I'm not. But what bugs me is being on my deathbed wishing that I would apply some knowledge to my life so that I had a higher quality of life and a better perspective on life had I known certain things. And so I'm an open book myself, and I'm willing to listen to anybody. I don't want to miss nothing, bro. I don't want to miss nothing. I want every step that I take to be me saying, I'm doing the best I can to live in the truth. I'm doing the best I can to live in the truth. I'm doing the best I can. I want every step to be like that. That I'm doing the best that I can, bro. So I'll talk to you, Angel. You know I'll talk to you. Don't play. You know we good. I'll talk to you. When I'm not religious, I don't rock with that shit. But I always feel very sincere appreciation for Christians when they want to talk to me about Jesus, even though I don't rock with that shit the way they do. Most of the time I don't want to hear it, and they think they're going to tell me some new shit, but I heard it all. I love the look on their face when they think, oh, I'm going to tell you something new about Christianity, and it's going to help you convert back to Christianity. I'm like, I bet you going to say some shit I already heard, and they always do. I heard all this shit already, but I let them talk because I like this. Because I always appreciate the fact that what it is that they're doing, they think they're saving my soul, and that's enough for me to appreciate the conversation with them. You think he's trying to save my soul? How can I be mad at this guy? I can't be mad at you or hate you or fucking treat you like our differences means that you're my enemy. You're trying to save my soul, and I appreciate that, man. Why would I not appreciate that? I don't care how it happens or where it came from. It's a beautiful thing, man. Interacting with people and talking about these differences is what we're supposed to be doing. So let's have all of the conversation while we have time. I got a feeling that they want so much control over speech and shit that it's going to be hard for us to have these conversations. If not now, the next generation is going to have a hard time just saying what it is that they think. People act like other people don't even have a right to be wrong. What the fuck? If I'm wrong, can I have a right to be wrong? Motherfuckers want people dead, shut, quieted, stifled, taken off of social media because of the difference of opinion. That shit is whack, bro. Let people say what the fuck they want. Come on, man. We're doing this the wrong way, man. It ain't got to be like this. RPM Trey Vietnam and this bitch Wu Bang, get a fucking gun today.